Look at this. It's the first snow of the season. Wow. It looks so cool. So cozy. And so cold. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What's this? Om krisen eller kriget kommer. Whoa. Om krisen eller kriget kommer. If the crisis or war comes. A pamphlet from the Swedish government. Whoa. There's like different circumstances and it talks about how to, looks like, be prepared for all sorts of different scenarios. Crisis scenarios, war scenarios. Wow. Okay, so I just looked it up online. Sweden has published this several times throughout its history, starting in 1943, so it's a World War II era idea. Yeah, you know, to make everyone prepared for what could be coming. From what I saw online, it looks like this is the 8th edition. So they've sent out multiple editions throughout the decades, through World War II, the Cold War, in the 80s and the 90s, and then even as most recent as 2018, and then now 2024, with some updated information. It kind of makes sense. You know, we have the war in Ukraine. The US just approved long-range missiles for use in the Ukrainian war, and then Ukraine shot them into Russia, and who knows what's going to happen. And Sweden, given that it's geographically kind of close proximity to Russia, got to be prepared. That's why you got the pamphlet. Turns out that Norway and Finland also sent their versions of these pamphlets to all their inhabitants. Look at this. This is interesting too. It's a woman soldier, and it kind of looks like it's a guy that's at home with the kids, and then some like airplanes, ships, and another soldier and stuff. Even in crisis and war, it's equal opportunity. But for real, everyone's got to do their part, and there shouldn't be stereotypes around who should be prepared and who should be the one fighting. We all have the responsibility. And it kind of leads me to this theory that I have going on. I kind of feel like the military might be one of the most progressive entities in Sweden. For example, during Pride last summer here in Sweden, there were advertisements, you know, for queer inclusive this, gender inclusive that, all sorts of things. But what was really prominent were these big advertisements from the military that were, it said something to the effect of like, we protect every person, but the way that the pronoun that they used for that was hen, which is a gender-inclusive pronoun in Swedish. It's a cool play on the language to represent values and ideals and equal opportunity and equality. So I don't know exactly if it's the military that is this driving force of progressiveness, but it kind of feels like the military, at least, is this expression for Swedish values, ideals, thoughts about equality, and you know? And when or if the crisis or war comes, it's equal opportunity. Very Swedish. So what does it actually say in here? To the inhabitants of Sweden. It's like story time. I'm translating this from Swedish, so bear with me. We live in orolig tid. We live in uncertain times. War is happening in the world around us. Terrorism, cyber attacks, and misinformation is used to hurt and influence us. In order to stand up against these threats, we need to come together and take responsibility for our country. If we are attacked, we must all help to defend Sweden's sovereignty and our democracy. You are part of Sweden's preparedness. Cool! I've never received anything like this or even heard of anything like this in the US. It's like a little shocking to receive it. Despite these big awful things happening, I feel calmed by, hey, we're going to do something about this. We're not going to stand idly by and just wait. We're going to make sure we're prepared. We're going to make sure that everyone's on the same page and we know what to do in the list of all these different scenarios. We have Sweden's defense, preparedness, totalförsvarsplikt. That's like everyone's duty for complete defense. That's an awful translation. We have the warning system, how to protect yourself in an air attack, bunkers, psychological defense, terror attacks, digital security. Whoa. Extreme weather, diseases, how to talk with kids about crisis and war. Wow. It has it all. It even talks about how Sweden joined NATO right here. Sweden is a part of the NATO alliance, and it says one for all and all for one. I love that. Wow, this is interesting. So from 16 years of age to 70, you have totalförsvarsplikt. So that's like you are responsible for, keeping the interest of protecting Sweden. It's kind of like high alert and follow directions for the sake of everyone's safety and the defense of Sweden. Wow, that's a lot to take in. Okay. Here are the illustrations for an air attack. Wow. Ooh, apocalypse prepping. Just kidding, it means home preparedness, but it's kind of like apocalypse prepping. It gives you instructions about water, about heat, about communication, to have extra batteries, about food, psychological defense. And this always talks about spreading false information and lies, how to defend against that, digital security and having good passwords, terror attack, how to stop bleeding, extreme weather, floods. It even has what to do with your house pets. More people in the world need to be getting pamphlets like this on how to protect yourself, protect others, and to work together as a society. We should be getting an updated pamphlet like this every year, honestly. It was a little freaky to get this in the mail today. But I'm feeling oddly optimistic about the outlook of the world by reading this. Probably because it's just a clear-eyed view of what can happen and what you need to do. There you go.